There's a conversation we often have on this channel in regards to franchises evolving from the cinematic space. Usually that's a point of origin. And it makes sense, I'm sure, everybody, that you have a movie that comes out in theaters, and then you have markets of entertainment in terms of usually the companies behind those productions are like, hey, we want to expand to other markets. Obviously, default reason being we want more money. But also it's to build longevity of the product and to explore entertainment within other ventures of storytelling. The video gaming landscape has been very active in this, with many different properties. I'm sure you could think of several that come to mind, of larger franchises or maybe smaller franchises evolving their presence, again, in other artistic ventures. Transformers has been existent for a while in that vein, in that you've had the movies, which also have had complementary video games, I believe, released in accordance with at least the original stories as well. Since from what I can remember, I think all three of the first Michael Bay productions and Age of Extinction with the Rise of the Dark Spark game, those have all had an accompanying video game. I believe that's for the first three. I might have that point wrong. At least some of them have, if not all. But this has been an existent move of Transformers before. You've had the movies in theaters, and you've also had the video games to complement that, again, for gamers. You have a different audience of appeal to best garner attention for your product. And it's been, though, from my understanding, in terms of those console releases, I'm not familiar with Transformers titles since Rise of the Dark Spark, which I know it was sort of bringing in its own original storyline from the War on Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games. I've not played Rise of the Dark Spark yet. I kind of wanted to years ago. I haven't bought a copy. I should. But Reactivate. From my understanding, this is a new game that was just unveiled as part of the Game Awards in 2022, and there hasn't been a big title, at least from what I'm familiar, in the Transformers line since Rise of the Dark Spark. I might have that wrong. I might be forgetting about a release that happened in between. But it's unbeknownst to me. At least I'm thinking of console releases. And we're back to that with Reactivate, which is coming from Splash Damage, who I'm not familiar with in regards to the entertainment that they make, but I like to gauge new video gamer developers out there, as well as see their creative works, of course, and consider titles to add to my shelf. And again, I've been a fan of a Transformers franchise. It's been enjoyable popcorn fodder in theaters, and it's about to be resurged of a new release. I mean, I don't think this is coming out in accordance with the new Rise of the Beast movie. I think that one's coming first, this will be coming later, but again, makes sense. You've got the film in theaters, and then you've got this video game project in another market to accompany said release. And I'm sure many of our forms of merchandising as well, because that's where Transformers stemmed from the Hasbro toy line. Anyway, if you need a background on Transformers Reactivate, this is the first introduction for you. This is the synopsis according to Newswit's website. Transformers Reactivate will offer players a chance to immerse themselves in the Transformers universe like never before. They will get to play as some of their favorite characters, unique, weighty, and powerful, seamlessly converting between vehicle and bot form as they battle. The Legion, the greatest threat the Autobots have ever faced. Is that connected to the Decepticons? I don't know. Again, like I said, I didn't mention this video. Have I? I think I mentioned it previously. I did not grow up with the Transformers toys. So the lore, the movies are providing a first introduction for this. And to some extent the games, because I have looked at Rise of the Dark Spark a bit. Anyway, Reactivate sounds interesting. Like I said, it's a console game. I believe it's a 4-player max online action games. There's, I believe, a multiplayer component, and it is going to be available on PC and consoles. At least that's what they say for the time being. Sounds interesting. I haven't played too many multiplayer games. Most of the stuff I play is rather localized to just my console, but should be fun. It's a Transformers game. Let's see how it looks. I mean, again, it's been a long time since Rise of the Dark Spark, so let's see. And again, I'm not familiarized with Splash Damage, so this is the first introduction in many components of what we're about to look at. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cue up the trailer, or what do they call this? Well, yeah, the announced trailer. So again, early days, and we can get a first look for this ourselves.
This ain't working. We should melt it down.
This looks upgraded. Oh, I've seen Splash Damage before.
We're live.
I can't say what title, but I have seen their logo, so I'm maybe a bit more familiar.
Loading memory core now.
Arkham, maybe? Good graphics, definitely an upgrade. Apocalyptic setting, I'm assuming it's set on Earth. It's kind of cool looking, honestly. I'm tempted to play it.
Let's get lucky.
I like the music choice for that. Definitely give it a bit of a different edge from what I'm familiar with other releases along the Transformers line. Aesthetically, it's a pretty stark contrast from other Transformers games that appear a little more glossy, less refined in their realization, specifically on the resolution of the gameplay reels, especially when it pertains to the cutscenes. This looks much more modern, refined, like a top-tier AAA title. That's the impression I get watching this. And it definitely fits in nature with some of the other elements were existent with the Transformers franchise, even if, again, maybe it's a bit of a deviation from what I'm familiar with within the video game line. I believe it's set on Earth. Legion invasion, so not the Decepticons, that's a bit different. But you still got the Transformers coming in, and you're going to have to work with the Autobots or raise the Autobots. It said the Autobots. So I'm not sure which Autobot this is. But it's going to be kind of fun to watch. I mean, like I said, if you've played the Transformers games before, this to me appears a bit different, so the experience might be an evolution for you. It certainly is on the graphics. I'll be curious to read your comments down below in regards to where you come from with this game. Because, I mean, I can say this even as I've enjoyed the Transformers films as just summertime action popcorn flicks. They're not the most well-regarded movies. Even I can speak to, like, they're not going to ever be Oscar winners unless there's some serious changes made. I mean, they've never been in the past unless maybe it pertains to, maybe I'm forgetting this, but if there's any nominations for, like, VFX or something. Which... those elements of the Transformers movies have been great, but even the video games is like, well, from what I've seen of Rise of the Dark Spark, it's kind of like, it kind of fits with the nature of the movie. Just enjoyable, maybe just for once, but it's somewhat engaging. At least on a gameplay perspective, it kind of looked fun. But this, again, looks like an upgrade. No pun intended. I'm curious to see more. I mean, that's a good first announcement tease. Looks enjoyable, entertaining. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this game evolves in the future. Maybe we'll get some gameplay footage next to actually see how the game works for players, but on a aesthetics perspective, this is like another level for Transformers games, at least in my opinion. And the co-op advantage, you've been playing along with people as the Legion invades Earth, I believe, that will probably be of appeal to many. It'll make for a fun experience. Again, it's a bit of an upgrade from what I'm familiar with the Transformers video game line. What are your guys' thoughts of Reactivate? I mean, it's kind of a nice name, too, very on the nose. If this is indeed kind of a release after so many years since Rise of the Dark Spark, oh yeah, the Transformers video games are back. To fit right in time with the movies. Let me know what your thoughts are down below on it. And maybe you're familiarized with more splash game titles than I am. What has your experience been with some of your maybe more enjoyed pieces of art along the video game line from them? And where would you say this fits in building your anticipation or maybe lack thereof? You know, again, entertainment is subjective. I'd love to hear your perspective, though, on how that lends to your opinion and regard of Transformers Reactivate, if you so wish to disclose that in the comments section. It looks good, like I said, engaging. I will definitely consider this game going forward in regards to giving attention to it and maybe perhaps playing it. I think I get an upgrade vibe. We'll see what satisfies in time, because, I mean, this is still early days, but to see it build out will be interesting. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.